Is the BMW iX3 a good car?
The BMW iX3 is a large electric SUV and the winner of the Tech Trailblazer Prize in the Carwow Car of the Year Awards 2026. This is thanks to the innovative infotainment system and clever battery tech which will feature in every new electric BMW going forward. It's a bit like the high-budget pilot episode of a new TV show. It needs to hook people in so they'll carry on watching the following episodes. Other posh electric SUVs to consider alongside the new iX3 include the Audi Q6 e-tron, Mercedes GLC Electric, and the Polestar 3. The exterior design is like nothing we've seen from BMW before, with the tall central kidney grills flanked by sleek black trim panels which incorporate the headlights. It's a really distinctive design, especially compared with the rather drab Audi Q6 e-tron.
The electric range, battery, and charging data for the BMW iX3. Range 420 to 500 miles. Efficiency 3.8 to 4.1 miles per kilowatt. Battery size 108 kilowatts. Max charge speed 400 kilowatts. Charge time AC 11 hours, 0 to 100%, 11 kilowatts. Charge time DC 21 minutes, 20 to 80%, 400 kilowatts. Charge port location left side rear. Power outputs 469 HP.
Step inside and you're greeted by a revolutionary new infotainment system which BMW calls Panoramic iDrive. At its heart, you have a full-width display along the base of the windscreen, which keeps all of your key driving information in your direct eye line. It's like nothing else on the market right now, and you can customize the views to show different information as you please. Then in the center, there's a 17.9-inch touchscreen which is super bright and responsive to your inputs. There are a lot of menus to get your head around, and it does take some time to learn your way around the system. Once you've got to grips with it, then it is pretty straightforward to access all the major functions. Unlike the old iX3, this new model isn't related in any way to the new petrol-powered X3. This means it doesn't have that car's disappointing interior. The iX3's cabin is much more posh feeling. Everything feels really solid, and the materials are all suitably premium. The plastics around the door bins are a bit scratchy, but we're splitting hairs here. The BMW iX3 sets new standards for electric cars in terms of driving, and the interior tech is impressive as well.
In true BMW style, the driving position is spot on with plenty of adjustment. There are also loads of storage spaces for your odds and ends, and the rear legroom is plentiful. It's not quite as spacious as the Tesla Model Y, but there's still more than enough room for lanky teenagers. At 520 liters in capacity, the iX3's boot is bang on average for this class. It's exactly the same size as a Mercedes GLC EV's boot, and it's only 6 liters shy of the Audi Q6 e-tron. Powering the iX3 is a 108 kilowatt battery with a claimed range of up to 500 miles. That's hugely impressive on paper, beating all of its rivals from Audi, Mercedes, and Polestar, but in reality, we saw around 360 miles in real-world testing. It's out on the road where the iX3 impresses most because it breaks all the rules of electric SUVs. It's a heavy car, but it drives like something which weighs much less. It's not only capable on a twisty road, it's actually good fun to chuck into the bends. This lightweight feeling has its benefits in town as well because it soaks up bumps in the road. The iX3 is also whisper quiet on the motorway, and the adaptive cruise control works seamlessly to keep you in lane and a safe distance from the car in front. Put simply, the BMW iX3 is the best driving electric SUV you can buy. If you're after a high-tech, posh-feeling, and spacious electric car, which is fantastic to drive and striking to look at, check out the latest BMW iX3 deals available through Carwow. You can also lease an iX3 or browse our range of used BMW electric cars to find a secondhand bargain. Looking to sell your car? You can do that through Carwow quickly and for a fair price. How much does the BMW iX3 cost?
The BMW iX3 has an RRP range of 58,755 pounds to 64,455 pounds. Prices start at 58,755 pounds if paying cash. Monthly payments start at 754 pounds. Our most popular versions of the BMW iX3 are model version 345 kilowatts, xDrive 50, 113 kilowatts, 5-door, auto. Carwow price from 58,755 pounds. The BMW iX3 starts from just under 60,000 pounds, meaning it's slightly less expensive than the Audi Q6 e-tron and the Mercedes GLC EV. It's also around 8,000 pounds less than a Polestar 3. You also get a lot of equipment as standard. All cars get that impressive panoramic infotainment system, wireless phone charging, adaptive cruise control, heated front seats, and LED headlights with automatic high beams. As is usual with BMW, there are also plenty of optional extras which push the price up. The 1,700-pound technology pack adds things like a head-up display, Harman Kardon sound system, and tri-zone climate control, and an auto park function will set you back a further 775 pounds.
Performance and drive comfort. The iX3 is both comfortable and fun to drive, but the A-pillar blind spot is annoying in town.
In town. Most electric cars work well in town, and the BMW iX3 is no exception. The suspension does a fantastic job of soaking up speed bumps and potholes, and the surround view camera is really clear and high definition to make tight car parks less stressful. You also have something called soft stop, which uses a high-powered computer to prevent jerky braking at low speeds. It feels natural and easy to control, and the steering is also light without feeling numb. Forward visibility is decent, although you do have quite a large blind spot in your A-pillar, which isn't helped by the panoramic iDrive display. You find yourself peering around it a lot at junctions. If you're not confident parking, the iX3 is available with plenty of tech to help you out. It'll park itself in bays and parallel spaces, and you can even park the car remotely from an app on your phone. You just pick the space you want to park in, get out, and press a button on the BMW app. It may come in handy if you're parking in a tight space where there's not enough room to get out of the car, and you can also summon the car out of the space on your return. On the motorway. At motorway speeds, the iX3 is almost eerily quiet. It has active noise canceling, which uses microphones to listen for unwanted noises, then it plays opposing sound waves to cancel them out. The system works really well because you hardly get any wind or tire noise. It's more refined than an Audi Q6 e-tron. BMW also offers a highway assist function which can pretty much drive for you on motorways. The car can even perform lane changes automatically just by looking in the door mirror. It takes a lot of stress out of long drives. After a few hours behind the wheel, we were relaxed and comfortable. It's a great long-distance cruiser. On a twisty road. On a twisty road, the iX3 goes from being impressive to incredible because you'd never guess that it weighs 2.3 tons. It feels nimble and agile, with responsive steering that makes it really easy to place on the road. You get almost zero body roll through the corners, and it only starts to run wide if you really push it. It's a really easy car to drive quickly down a country road, and even if you're not in the mood for larking about, it's still supremely comfortable over bumps and uneven surfaces. The Audi Q6 e-tron doesn't hold a candle to the iX3.
Space and practicality. The iX3 offers plenty of interior space, and there's decent storage, but the boot is only average. The BMW iX3's driving position is spot on. There's loads of adjustment in the seats and the steering wheel, and you can get nice and low if you prefer a sporty vibe. The standard seats are excellent, offering enough support while still being soft and cosseting. The sports seats you get in some models are a bit more grippy, which is ideal for spirited driving, but they're not quite as comfortable for long-distance cruising. Once you've got comfortable behind the wheel, there are plenty of cubbies to store your bits and bobs. The 2 cup holders in front of the gear selector are a good size, and there's a place to store 2 phones under the touchscreen with wireless charging for your devices. There's also space for some odds and ends under the armrest, and you get a place for a small bag under the center console. The door bins will swallow up a large bottle, as will the glove box. It's a really practical cabin. Space in the back seats. Moving to the rear, knee room and headroom are both generous. A Tesla Model Y is a bit more spacious, but the iX3 will still take a 6'3" motoring journalist in comfort. You can also add 3-zone climate control as an option, so the rear seat occupants can set their own temperature. Fitting a child seat is easy thanks to the wide opening rear doors, but you will need to remember to lift the leather flap covering the ISO fix points before you plunk the seat down. Once you have done this, the anchors are really easy to locate. There are a couple of USB-C ports in the back so the kids can keep their devices topped up, and you also get 2 cup holders in the fold-down armrest. The rear door bins are big enough for large bottles too. Boot space. The iX3 offers 520 liters of boot space, which is pretty much exactly the same as the Audi Q6 e-tron and the Mercedes GLC EV. It's also 36 liters bigger than the Polestar 3's boot. The load lip is low and the opening is wide, making it easy to chuck big, heavy items into the boot. The back seats also fold pretty much flat, with no hump in the floor, so sliding an IKEA chest of drawers to the front won't be an issue. Under the floor, there's a big space to keep loose items hidden away, and there are some handy hooks to stop bags from rolling around. Under the bonnet, you get a further 58 liters of space, which is perfect for storing your charging cables. Interior style, infotainment, and accessories. The iX3's interior packs impressive tech, and it feels posh, but some of the controls are awkward. The iX3 is the first BMW to use the new panoramic iDrive infotainment system, which is basically a massive display which runs along the base of the windscreen. It's projected onto a black strip which is right in the driver's eye line, so you don't have to look away from the road to see key information like speed and navigation directions. It's split into 3 segments, with one display in front of the passenger, and you can choose what you see on each segment of the display. It looks very impressive when you get behind the wheel, and it's easy to use as well. It does feel a bit underutilized in some ways, though, especially on the passenger side. You can have things like your elevation and air quality index there, but not third-party apps like Spotify or Google Maps. Below the panoramic display, you have a 17.9-inch touchscreen, which is oddly cantered to the side. It looks pretty cool when you're using BMW's own software, but once you load up Apple CarPlay, you end up with a strange border around the screen. The screen itself is bright and extremely responsive to your inputs, but there are quite a lot of menus to learn your way around, and it can be quite overwhelming at first. Once you've learned your way around the system, it's easy to use on the move, with handy shortcuts for your driver assistance systems at the driver's fingertips. The final screen on offer is the optional head-up display, which seems pretty redundant when combined with the panoramic iDrive beneath the window. We ended up switching it off midway through our test because the amount of information in front of the driver becomes a bit much to process. You end up not knowing where to look. The buttons on the steering wheel aren't great either. They're weirdly recessed within the rim of the equally strange steering wheel, making each button seem like a stretch for your thumb to reach. They're also quite small and tightly clustered together, making them uninviting to interact with. Small gripes aside, the iX3's interior looks fantastic, and the material quality is excellent. It's miles better than the petrol-powered X3's low-rent cabin, and it feels more posh than a Polestar 3 as well. The door tops, dashboard, and center console are all covered in lovely soft leather and squidgy plastics, and all the switchgear feels reassuringly solid as well. You can find some harder plastics if you dig down to the lower door cards and in the footwells, but you really need to be looking for it. Electric range, charging, and tax. All versions of the BMW iX3 come with 108 kilowatt-hour battery, and BMW claims it'll do up to 500 miles between charges. The car we drove was fitted with 21-inch alloy wheels, which drops the claimed figure to 470 miles. We took the car on a 154-mile test drive, taking in a good mixture of city streets, country roads, and wide-open highways, and it averaged 3.3 miles per kilowatt, which works out to a real-world range of almost 360 miles. That's some way off the claimed figure, but it's still mightily impressive for a large SUV. The Polestar 3 managed 438 miles before conking out during one of our range tests. We'll look forward to seeing what the iX3 can manage when we get it in the UK. If your journey does span further than this, you can charge the iX3 at up to 400 kilowatts at a DC changing station. That allows the car to go from 10 to 80% in just 21 minutes. An 11 kilowatt AC home charger will take you from 0 to 100% in 11 hours, and this drops to 5 hours and 45 minutes at a 22 kilowatt station. All versions of the BMW iX3 will attract the luxury car tax, meaning you'll pay $620 per year in tax for years 2 through 6. The first year's tax is still just $10 because this is an electric car. At least company drivers will be able to enjoy low benefit in kind rates. The iX3 falls into the lowest bracket of just 3%. Safety and security. The iX3 comes with loads of safety kit as standard. All cars come with adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, driver attention alert, and autonomous emergency braking. This car hasn't been through Eurocan AP's crash testing yet, but no BMW tested in 2025 so far has scored less than 4 stars. Given the iX3 debuts the latest versions of BMW's driver assistance systems, we'd be surprised if it didn't get the full 5 stars. The only thing which could hold this car back is its interior controls, because Eurocan AP is now scoring cars for ease of use. There's no denying that touchscreen controls are more fiddly to operate than physical knobs, so the iX3 could lose a few points here. Reliability and problems. The BMW iX3 is a brand new car, so it's too early to say if it's reliable or not. All signs point towards this car being dependable, though, because BMW came 8th out of 31 manufacturers for owner satisfaction in the 2025 Driver Power Survey.